Hello, this is Brian Scuttle of Sonic Cinema. I'm recording this to discuss my thoughts on the Channing Tatum film Dog, which is Tatum's directorial debut, along with the writer of the film, Reed Carolyn. And Tatum stars as an Army Ranger who has been trying to get back into the Army, even though he's struggled since his time in service. And he is tasked in order to help get his way back in to deliver a military service dog to its user's funeral. The user is a former ranger who got into a horrific car accident and had been dealing with PTSD. The dog had been traumatized by its use in service and hasn't really been able to be normalized as a dog since returning, even though the owner really wanted to try. So Tatum is supposed to take the dog to the funeral because the family wants the dog at the funeral, and then he is supposed to take it to a nearby base where it will be put to sleep. And that's the bulk of the narrative. It's basically on seeing them on kind of a cross-country road, even though it's basically from Oregon to Arizona. So not exactly cross-country, but it's a road movie. It's a buddy movie. It's really interesting to see this considered a comedy on IMDb. There are moments that are certainly intended to be entertained, but I think ultimately the movie is supposed to be serious. Overall, it was a good movie. I think one of the issues with this movie is that we don't really see a whole... While we can definitely tell that Briggs, the Tatum character, has issues himself, and you kind of get the impression that the dog is going to kind of help him as much as he's able to help the dog, even though that's certainly a difficult process. But at the same time, you don't really get a whole lot of the character motivation from Tatum's character that you would expect. And it's funny because this is a movie that last year I saw a wonderful documentary called Bastard's Road, which is about PTSD soldiers and how they're struggling after they get out of service. And one is going on truly a cross-country journey to see his fellow soldiers and talk about how they're struggling and try to get tips as to how he can maybe be better. And you don't really get that in this, and I think that's kind of one of the main issues I have with the film. I don't think it delves enough into that. Overall, it's fine. If you like movies with dogs near the center of it, it's fine. Tatum is good in the role. It actually reminded me of his role in Kimberly Pierce's excellent film Stop Loss, which, if you haven't had a chance to see that is an absolute must. It really does a good job dealing with PTSD in soldiers, I think. But those are kind of my thoughts on Dog. It's, my wife and I saw it on Valentine's Day. She had wanted to see it. It's a good movie. It's an entertaining one to watch. There are some decent moments in it, but ultimately kind of left me wanting a little bit more. So those are my thoughts on Dog. If you feel inspired to check it out, I hope you do. I think it's serviceable for what it's trying to do. I just think it probably could have done a little bit more. So that's it. This is Brian Scuttle, and thank you very much.